All right. First of all, if you guys don't know who PropStream is a data service that provides real estate data to real estate investors. So why is it so important that everybody has MLS sold data?
Told you not to call here. It's not for sale. Quit texting me and aggravate.
Well, here's the thing. There are some states that don't supply any type of public information as far as when a property is sold or how much it is sold for. These states are called non-disclosure states. So why is it so important that you need MLS sold data? Well, in those non-disclosure states, they don't provide anything, so you don't know how much it's sold for, but the MLS does. The MLS gives you the price that the property sells for, giving you access to be able to understand what are the comparable values of certain properties in certain areas, even without the public sales data. Some people are pulling their hair out because even in the non-disclosure states, you no longer have access to MLS sold data. You know what? I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So before I continue, I'm gonna give you guys not only the current problem with this whole MLS data thing, but I'm also gonna give you guys a solution that will definitely help you out. So what is the issue with this whole MLS sold data stuff? So here's the thing. When we have a property under contract, or when you're buying a property, you're always going to try to look for other homes that have sold in the area. If you don't have any homes that have sold in the area, you're not really going to understand what your property is worth. So let's go ahead and just use this circle as subject property. Now, subject property, you're going to base your value on this property from at least 3 other homes that are similar to your property. What happens if you don't have that data? How are you going to know what a property is worth? The public sales data will give you, in certain states, the price that a property sold for, but you're not going to know, is it a multiple property sale? Is it a house and a lot? Is it an apartment complex that's way bigger or different than your property? I know I'm using shapes to kind of illustrate this, but this is the best way that I can illustrate something different because I'm no Picasso. With not having access to the MLS data, how do you know what is what, when did it sold, why did it sell so high? Because then here's the other thing. Sometimes you'll have properties that are in similar condition to yours, but the current street value is different than the MLS value. People on the MLS are generally going to pay more than what the street price is. That's why wholesalers make money, because usually the properties that we get are sold at a cheaper price than what they would sell on the multiple listing service. So even though, let's say this house here, so what I'll say is this house here is in similar condition to this property, and say this property sold for $44,000. But this property over here, I'm gonna use as a triangle, sold in the exact same time frame, probably maybe a couple of months apart, but it sold for $34,000. But they're all in the same condition. What might be the difference? Maybe this one wasn't an investor who bought it. Maybe this one was on the MLS and a regular Joe Schmo bought it to live in it. This one though was bought by an investor who's going to try to make a profit. So you don't know who's who or what's what as far as wholesaling goes. All these wholesalers are going crazy over this whole MLS data thing. I myself included. But here's the thing. So I am affected by this 100% because I am trying to do some virtual wholesaling in Dallas, Texas. And guess what? Dallas is a non-disclosure state. So you have no idea what the heck anything sold for. Here's the other problem with that. When you have multiple properties that sold for multiple different prices and you don't know where they sold, you don't know what the current value is of the property when it comes down to an investor. You know the current market value that somebody, an ordinary person would pay, and they're always going to pay the highest because either they're going to live in it or maybe they bought it for a relative who's going to live in it, and they're going to put a lot more money into it than what an investor is going to put into it. An investor is always going to want to be lower because we have a lot more money on the line and we have a lot more to lose. Generally, when you're going to live in a house, you're going to live in it for like 10, 20 years. Some people live there all their lives. So they're going to pay more money because they're not worried about what the current value is or the future value is, because they're going to stay there for a very long time. So the solution to all this is simple. Now, my handwriting ain't the prettiest, but you can figure this out for yourself. Buy another data source. Buying another data source, looking for another data provider, is the simplest way to solve this problem. But hold on, before you click off, there is a second one. This one is probably going to be the cheapest and the best way to get really good data, because you're going to be getting it directly from the source. Now, I don't know how big this looks on the camera, but network with realtors. This one is going to help you out the most, because here's the thing about networking with realtors. Yeah, you can network with them, you can ask them to run comps for you, but in certain states, you can also be an apprentice or kind of like an aide almost. I don't know what the other word is, a helper, apprentice, whatever it might be. And they can put you under their MLS access for a certain price. Now, usually they charge like 10 to 15 bucks a month, but you have direct MLS access, so you can see everything that's going on the MLS, and you don't have to worry about buying another data source or worrying how long that data source is going to be available to you. Right now, a lot of realtors are very turned off by wholesaling, and there's a number of reasons why. Number one, we do make more money than realtors. I will put that out there. I make way more money than an ordinary realtor. At the same time, there are some people who are doing some shady stuff in wholesaling. It has blown up completely over the past couple of years. I learned about it just the same way that you're learning about it right now, through YouTube University and through reading books and talking to other people about it, networking with other people about it. And the problem with this is that you're going to have some shady actors that come in and are going to do some shady stuff. They're going to give wholesalers a bad name. But at the same time, realtors feel like we're ripping money out of their pocket, even though we're helping them make more money. I'm out here diligently knocking on people's doors, not physically, but through the telephone, calling people, texting people, mailing people, to get these people's attention to sell their properties at a reasonable price. And not only at a reasonable price, but we're helping them solve problems at the same time. Problems that the realtors would not want to address because it's not worth it for them. I'll be honest with you, man. Some of the stuff that I do, a realtor just wouldn't do it. It takes too much time, too much energy. For the amount of reward that they're gonna get, it's not really worth it for them. So we are out here actually helping people solve problems. Look, right now, I'm in a deal with one of my realtors. There's a realtor friend of mine. He actually helped me sell a house not too long ago. In this moment in time, this lady, she lives in a house that she hates. She wanted to move to a better house. So we hooked her up not only with a realtor, we helped her fix her credit too so she could qualify for an FHA loan. And in this whole process, this took a year, okay, to get from beginning to end. We just closed on her house today. We bought it physically. So we closed on her house, helped her build up her credit, hooked her up with a realtor that helped her find a property. We're buying her house, so giving her money, and she's using that money to go ahead and finance her deal, and then my realtor's making money at the same time. So you see how all this is connected? Do you think my realtor was gonna spend the time and the money that it takes to reach out to her to see if she wanted to sell her house? There's too many components there that doesn't make it reasonable for them. So what's happening with that is these data providers are being shut out from the MLS, because the MLS is saying, no, we no longer want to help you guys out. We want to shut you down because you know what? You're ripping money out of our pockets and we no longer want to help you. We want to control the whole industry. So what does that mean for all of us as wholesalers? I don't know. Be honest with you. Wholesaling could be dead tomorrow. The whole issue is that you just got to learn how to pivot. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade and sell it, okay? Things are going to be different, and as years come by, new regulations are going to hit the market. People are going to hate wholesalers. Many people do hate wholesalers, and that's cool. Let there be an association of wholesalers that control the market, so that way people abide by certain rules and try to do things with integrity, man. This is what I tell all you guys. Don't be out there locking up properties, lying to these sellers. You really got to be solving problems out here. You can't just be out here locking up properties, doing shady stuff, and trying to screw people over. I think that that's not really a good model to live by. So I hope you guys found this video informative. Hope you guys found some enjoyment in it. And these are simple things to do, man. Just find another data provider. There are a few different other companies out there that supply MLS data. Batch is one of them. I forgot what it is. Batch marketing, Batch text messaging, just the whole Batch brand. They have their own MLS data. I think REI Pro still has data from the MLS. So you can use, you know, MLS data from different places. I think even Deal Machine has it to where you can subscribe and get MLS comps as well. So I hope you guys found this video enjoyable. If you did, shoot me some love down below, comment down below, ask any questions that you may want, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.